these guys are all signing massive, and I mean massive tickets. The first day of free agency full of action, and the big players were on South Beach. Miami Heat working towards completing that sign and trade to bring Kyle Lowry from the Raptors. The 2019 champion is expected to snag a 3-year deal. Then the Heat started working on some of their own, like Jimmy Butler, getting him a max extension. The 31-year-old led the Heat to the 2020 NBA Finals, posted career highs last season in field goal percentage, assists, and led the NBA in steals. And the Heat also took care of sharpshooter Duncan Robinson, agreeing on a 5-year, $90 million deal. That's the largest ticket by any undrafted player in league history. Robinson joining Steph and Clay as the only players multiple seasons of 250 made threes while shooting over 40%. And the latest word, ESPN's Tim Bontemps reporting that P.J. Tucker, a big piece out of Milwaukee, signs a 2-year, $15 million deal with the Heat. So how Miami will project to the floor next year, I mean, looking really good, really sharp. He'd still have some work to do filling out the rest of their roster. Bobby Marks joined us last hour and said even with all of this, they are still under the salary cap, which is remarkable. I personally gave Woj the day off. Usually on one of his busiest days of the year, I will call, text, or email him and just say, hey, how you doing? Like, you know, some light conversation, really bothering him, and he's always polite to answer back and say, I'm doing fine. So let's focus on what has been a crazy day and night in the NBA. Anybody do it better than Pat Riley and the Heat tonight? How did they get Kyle Lowry out of Toronto there?
Yeah, really remarkable for Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra, the Miami Heat, to not have any cap space and go out and get, really perhaps the premier available point guard on the market, who is looking to change teams in Kyle Lowry. He has long been intrigued with the idea of coming to Miami, teaming up with Jimmy Butler. And, he just fits in perfectly. This is the ultimate win-now team in the league. And as you said, Duncan Robinson, as we reported, 5 years, $90 million. P.J. Tucker, this is a team that's going to be deep and certainly is going to be a real factor again in the Eastern Conference.
And that Toronto championship team of just 2 years ago, I mean, it's pretty recognizable. It's how quickly the league does change these days. Woj, the easy question is, how did Chris Paul wind up staying in Phoenix? But I think the more interesting question is, how close was Chris Paul to actually exiting Phoenix?
Not close at all. When he really pushed for that trade from Oklahoma City to the Suns last year, it was to be there long term. Certainly they had great success, and it was just a matter of just a negotiation, getting to a number. 4 years, I'm told, could be worth as much as $120 million with this new deal. Certainly probably the last deal of his career, perhaps at 36 years old, and a team in Phoenix, that's, wants to get back to the NBA Finals, have a chance to win it, but he loves it there. Listen, he has transformed that organization, and for Chris Paul, it was just a matter of making the money work, and they got that done tonight, and he'll be back with Devin Booker next season. They've got Campaign re-signed, bringing in JaVale McGee, and they'll work on extensions next for DeAndre Ayton and Mikal Bridges.
Chris Paul still chasing that elusive ring. He is expected to be ready for the start of training camp, had the left wrist surgery done. So, Woj, thanks for joining us. Maybe I'll call you tomorrow and just say hi.
Thanks, Steve.
All right, see ya.
Good. I look forward to it.
I'm sure you do. That's sarcastic. Woj all over it, as usual, here on SportsCenter. Some other notable players staying put, including Cavs big man Jarrett Allen. His deal's for 5 years and $100 million. Who didn't get $100 million today? I mean, look, these are all really good players. I get it. But some of the numbers being thrown around. Derrick Rose recreating himself, $43 million, 3 years, will stay in New York.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.